Hello and welcome back to the Pixel Street Podcast. This is episode 56 for Friday, April 19th, 2019. I had to think because we're recording a day early. But nonetheless, we are here. My name is Joel Campos. As always, I'm joined with the man who has unlimited amounts of Cuphead download codes, John Hansen.
Yes, I am the all-father of Cuphead. Come to me, my children.
We'll touch on that a little bit and let you know how you can win a copy. But for now, go ahead and check out our Twitter. That's where you can see where our giveaway is for that, at Pixel Street Pod over there. Or check out our Facebook as well by searching Pixel Street Podcast. Email us a topic at pixelstreetpodcast@gmail.com, which I have not checked, but I will. As always, our podcast comes to you on Friday mornings, 8 a.m. Central Time, on our Facebook page, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcast, and YouTube. Pretty much any podcast platform other than Spotify. John,
Because they hate us.
before we start, you want to go into this Cuphead giveaway? Tell the people how they can win a copy.
Alright, so we are super excited for Cuphead to release on the Nintendo Switch, so we are pulling together to give away a copy. To enter, all you have to do is go to our Twitter at Pixel Street Pod. Follow us there, retweet the post I made. I've got it pinned right at the top, and it's not like we have a lot to go through on there anyway. Just retweet it, and you're entered. You can also go to our Facebook page. That is facebook.com/Pixel Street Podcast. Same thing there. Like our page, share the post there, and you can actually be entered twice if you do both. So I will be checking all the shares and follows on Sunday, and we'll be giving out the code then.
What time do you think on Sunday?
That's a good question.
Evening?
Yeah, probably evening. We will say
Before 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Central
5
time.
o'clock
Okay.
Central Time.
5 o'clock Central Time. All right. So I was taking a drink of water. There's your chance to win a copy of Cuphead on the Switch. I personally have not played all the way through Cuphead on Xbox. I own it. I just love the art style.
And the music.
Yeah, the music, man.
So
I think I've told you this before. I have a vinyl for the game.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Yeah, I had to get
so
it.
Good.
So yeah, stay tuned to see who won. I mean, you'll hear next week for sure. We'll probably talk about it, but yeah, check our Twitter and Facebook pages. This week we are going to be discussing the PlayStation 5. I guess it's kind of untitled. We don't know the name of it, but the inevitable PlayStation 5 reveal. The Xbox One SAD or SAID, it depends. It depends on who you
I like
ask.
SAD though.
Yeah, I like SAD as well. And the new Smash update. But first, John, let's get into some of the new releases we are excited about this week.
Yeah. So, did we go? Oh yeah. We did already go into World War Z, which just came out this week, right?
Yeah, we did briefly talk about it. It looks cool.
Okay.
Like the videos I've been seeing looks interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely something I want to get into. Like we said, Cuphead is releasing tomorrow. I'm super excited for that. I did beat it on my Xbox One, and I'm just super excited to play through it again. It's probably going to be every night I'm on my Switch playing something when I'm trying to lay down and go to bed. And of course, it keeps me up much longer than I should allow it. But yeah, super excited for that. I know last week we also talked a little bit about Katana Zero, which was revealed in the last Nintendo Direct. Well, I guess 2 Nintendo Directs ago now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see reviews. I'm sure reviews for that are probably out by now. But the game's only $14.99. I'm looking right now on the Switch, so yeah, I think it looks like a game that would be worth the $15.
Everything else coming out tomorrow, I can't really say I know about. It's a bunch of Switch games, of course, because it's Thursday.
A lot of Switch games. Mortal Kombat coming Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, yeah. That's one that I've got. Wow, yeah, that came up pretty fast.
Yeah, that creeped up on us.
Yeah, I've got it pre-ordered, so I'll be giving it a try, even though I am awful at fighting games.
As am I.
Are you getting it, though?
I don't have it pre-ordered. I haven't decided. I kind of do want to get it just to support NetherRealm, just because I think that like all the trailers and stuff for that game look really cool.
Yeah, and they just do really good work.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll ask me next week, and we'll discuss.
Okay, all right, sounds good. And well, I mean, next week by when we record, I will at least have given it a try, so I can speak about it.
Yeah.
Maybe I can talk you into it if you haven't gotten it yet.
Sounds good.
Have you played Dragon's Dogma?
No, I've never played it. It's a name I've heard a lot. It doesn't seem like something I would be into at all.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, pretty much there. Really a name I've heard about a lot, but I know a lot of people are excited. That does release on Tuesday for the Switch, so anyone excited for that, get ready.
Is that a new Dragon's Dogma, or is it like a port?
It's a remaster, I believe.
Okay. Yeah,
because it was a 360 and PS3 game, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people on my friends list playing that game in the past years, and I know one of my friends for sure was super into it, but it didn't seem like something I would ever want to play, personally.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, other than that, the only other game I see is Days Gone, which comes out next Friday, which I will talk about in a bit.
Yeah.
But we'll save that for next week. Are there any new Xbox One backwards compatible games? Oh, yeah, there is.
Yes.
They just announced that the Inside Xbox this past Tuesday. Ninja Gaiden 2 is one of them.
That's the only new one. And then Fable 2, Fable 3, Splinter Cell, Conviction, Blacklist, and Double Agent are all Xbox One X enhanced now.
Which is awesome. It makes me want to play the Fables if I ever get bored this summer.
Yeah, no joke. The day before that Inside Xbox, I was looking for something to play, and I went on Game Pass. I'm like, ooh, I'm really tempted to download Fable 2 and 3, and now this is just pushing me towards that even more.
See, there you go. There you go. So yeah, that's it. Ninja Gaiden 2 is the only new announcement. Then you got some more Xbox One X enhanced games. Okay, so we're gonna go through the games with gold and stuff real quick. For March, you have the Technomancer.
It's April now. I forgot to update that last week. Yeah, right now it's Technomancer on Xbox One, and Tom Clancy's Advanced Warfighter. Hold on, I gotta pull it up.
Yeah, Graw 2. It's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2.
Yeah, that's it. So those are the current ones, and then have they announced next month's yet? No.
And no, they usually wait until like the last minute.
Yeah, it'll be about a month about a week before they announce it.
And then for PS Plus, you have for the month of April Conan Exiles and The Surge. And for Twitch Prime, you have Her Story, Inner Space, Joggernauts, and Keep in Mind Remastered. I think we talked last week, and I don't know any of those games. But also, we're going to keep bringing it up. You can get a free 12-month subscription to Nintendo Online with Twitch Prime from March 28th through September 24th. It stacks on a current non-family account. So yeah, definitely do that if you have Twitch Prime and a Switch, or just do it and give it to somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely not a reason to buy Twitch Prime, but if you already have it, that's a great add-on there.
Yeah, true. Or if you were thinking of getting Twitch Prime or like Amazon Prime, and you know you would want the Nintendo Online, that's just a perk.
Yep.
All right, John, we're going fast this week.
Oh, yeah.
What have you been playing?
All right, well, I've been playing a ton more of MLB The Show 19. I'm just still obsessed with it. I'm full on into baseball mode right now and just really in there. And still, same story as last week. I am still just stuck on franchise mode. I am just happy playing a simulation baseball game. I am enjoying it so much. I just don't have any more to say that I haven't said already. It's just a really good baseball game.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a lot of fun. I haven't played it as much in this past week, mainly because I've been catching up on Game of Thrones before the new season. which is normally when I would be playing it in the past month or so since it came out. But yeah, I kind of put it down for a bit, but I definitely want to get back to it this coming week. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Great game.
Oh yeah. What about you?
Last night I completed Borderlands, the first Borderlands Game of the Year edition. I beat the story. I didn't do too many of the side stuff. I was doing a lot of side stuff at first, and then I didn't play my Xbox at all last week. I was mainly watching Game of Thrones with my girlfriend so that she could catch up, and so I didn't play it all last week. And my friends that I was playing co-op with, of course, were playing all week, and they beat the game without me. So when I got back, I was like, all right, I just got to do all the main quests, because they're on to Borderlands 2 now, because they're also trying to play through them before Borderlands 3.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I'm just like, all right, let's just get through the story, and then I'll go on to Borderlands 2 with them. They decided to wait for me on there, so hopefully I can catch up with them in Borderlands 2, and then if I feel like it, if I'm not too Borderlands out after 2, I can go back to 1 and do some of the DLC and side quests. I don't know. We'll see. I have a feeling I won't go back, but I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm. Was that your first time beating Borderlands 1?
Oh, yeah. The most I played Borderlands 1 before was maybe 5 hours.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's about what I put into it on the 360 as well, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I enjoyed it. I'm excited to see. Everybody says that Borderlands 2 is like way, way better, so I'm excited to hop on that and see what the differences are. I'm sure it changed a lot. At least I hope so.
You know, I played them very spread out from each other. Like, I played Borderlands 1 when it first came out. Borderlands 2 I didn't play until like 3 or 4 years after it came out, so maybe I'm not the best person to hear about this, but I want to say they were similar. Like, there weren't as many changes as you would think, but I could be wrong. Report on that next week.
Well, one thing I've heard is that the guns are way cooler in 2. Because the one thing I noticed in Borderlands 1 is a lot of the guns are very samey. Like, there's not many variations.
Yeah.
I guess. Like, they're all pretty similar. Like, in terms of like, all the pistols are all pretty similar. Like, but I heard in 2 that there's a lot more variety in, like, the types and, like, the type of damages the guns do. I don't know. I'll see when I play and let you know.
All right.
What else have you been playing?
All right, so I got a little further into Devil May Cry 2. It's more of the same, I'd say, from the first one. There seems to be more powers in this one. Like, I've been finding these amulet things that let me fly now, and when I'm in my devil mode, I can run really fast, so that's really cool that there's, like, actually more reason to use the devil trigger mode besides just being stronger. So that's cool. I'll have to get into it further before I can really give much more opinion on it, but so far I'm more of the same. Like with Devil May Cry 1, I'm enjoying it, and it's a very early 2000s game.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. Is it still like that super corny early 2000s game like the first one was, like you were saying?
Not as much, at least to where I'm at. There's definitely those moments, but I wouldn't say as much as the first one. The first one is just filled to the brim with those moments. The second one, though, at least where I'm at, there's not as many cutscenes as the first one, so maybe that's why I'm not feeling that, but we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to see if you actually follow through and want to finish all of them. I mean, I'm assuming if you got through the first one, you'll keep going, because I'd imagine the first one's probably the hardest to get through.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going into this completely blind. I haven't read any reviews. I have no idea what's gonna happen. I completely blind playthrough right now.
That's cool. Yeah, that's kind of like how when I went through Mass Effect 1 and 2, I didn't, all I knew was that it's like a sci-fi, open world RPG type game. And Mass Effect 1 isn't really open world, I guess. Kind of. But there's a lot of linear, like all the missions are pretty linear once you go into them. But yeah, I kind of went through those blind. I never played Mass Effect 3 though. Never played Mass Effect 3, and I never beat Andromeda.
Yeah, from what I've heard, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. I heard 3's not okay. I gotta go play that. I heard that's the one I gotta play through.
Except for the ending, right?
I don't know. All I know is that there's like 5 or 6 endings or something like that.
No, I won't spoil, or I won't say what I've heard, but I've never played it, so I don't know.
Okay. Moving on, another game I've been playing is I started playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 again last night. I'm not talking about the old one. I'm talking about the new one that was very controversial. One of my buddies bought it because it's on sale right now for $10 on Xbox Live. He bought it because he's a huge Star Wars fan, and he just wanted to see what had changed in the game because he owns it on PS4, I guess. And I told him, I was like, yo, if you buy it, I'll play it with you. Like, I enjoy the game. I like Battlefield a lot, and this is very similar to those. And they added new stuff recently. Like, they added a bunch of Clone Wars, like, troopers, new heroes, like young Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then there's a new game mode that we were playing that, if you've ever played Battlefield 5, there's a game mode called Grand Operations. And the way it works is like the first... So you start even, scores 0-0. And then it's like Conquest where you got to capture the points and hold them. Mm-hmm. And then once that round's done, when the either time's up or their resources are gone, I can't remember exactly. Then the winning team is pushing back the losing team. And then it loads you into a new map, and the new map is like their main ship, and then you're fighting in that ship to to arm 2 charges, and then you got to push them back, and there's 2 more charges. So it's kind of cool because it takes you from like one map, and it's like, all right, we pushed them back here, now let's go attack their ship so we can get them out of here. And it's a lot of back and forth that way, so it can take a long time. Like the match we played took almost an hour, I think. Mm-hmm. Because we pushed them all the way back, and then they started pushing back, and then we had to go back to the land and fight, and then they beat us there, and they took us back to our ship, and we're taking points. So it was a pretty cool game mode. I enjoyed it a lot. I can't remember what it was called, though. But it was very similar to Grand Operations in Battlefield 5.
All right.
Which, I mean, makes sense. It's the same company, So
yeah.
It's EA. It's a no-brainer just to add a game mode like that. But that game, the graphics are awesome, man. If you like Star Wars, just for $10, just pick it up and fuck around a little bit. It's just cool.
I mean, yeah, both Battlefront games had their share of controversies too, definitely more than the first one. But that was always the one thing that everyone always gave them credit for. What is it, DICE? Yeah, that they made it look amazing and sound amazing. Like they used the actual sounds from the movies.
The sounds are crazy, man. Just to hear those blasters shooting right past your head and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, to be fair, in Battlefront 2, they fixed all of those microtransaction problems. Mm-hmm. So it's a completely new game. So if you have it and you played it at launch and just haven't played it because of all the controversial stuff, definitely go back and try it out now because it's a completely different game in terms of that stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, personally, I only played the first one, and I was tempted to get 2, but then all that controversy came out, so I just backed away from it. Maybe at some point here I'll pick it up. Like you said, it's on sale for $10. Why not? But we'll see.
Yep. Yeah. I'll probably keep playing it, to be honest. My buddy bought it, so I'm sure he's gonna want to play it more. Yeah. What's the last game on your list?
So, Overwatch. So the new Archives event just started, and this is the 3rd year of them doing this, and the Archives event is always a look into the lore. It's always my favorite event of the year. It's just a random mission from Overwatch's past. The first year was Tracer's first mission with Overwatch in Uprising. Last year was Reaper turning towards the bad side in Retribution. This year the event is called Storm Rising. Sorry. And in this one, Tracer, Genji, Mercy, and Winston are all chasing down an Omnic named Maximilian, who in the past we have only seen in a comic for Overwatch where he was talking to Doomfist. And so first off, I want to just say that the beginning cutscene and the ending cutscene for this are amazing. Like, we haven't really seen much of this from Blizzard, or I mean just from the Overwatch team at Blizzard. We saw a little bit of it with Retribution last year, but this time they've really outdone themselves with the opening cinematic.
Do these cinematics remind you of those shorts that they put out online sometimes?
No, because those I would say are a Pixar quality. Yeah. You know what I mean? It actually looks like a movie. This is all in-game graphics and everything. It feels like it's in the game. So the beginning of it is camera zooming over. It's in Cuba, and it's zooming over these cars moving around, and Tracer's on this motorcycle that is like a hover bike thing, and she starts chasing them down, and she's talking to this Sojourn, or is that how you say it? Sojourn? I don't know. Sure. She's talking to a captain on the radio, and she's just chasing them down. She blinks onto the back, and she's beating them up, blinking around them. She bombs them. Well, the rest of them start getting away. She's like, oh no, they're getting away. Then Mercy comes flying out of nowhere and blinds them. Then Winston comes from the roof and just jumps down and pounds them out of the way. And then the 3 remaining cars are going down a street, and they run into Genji that just pulls out his sword and slashes them up. It's so cool. And just hearing their dialogue as they're going through this, and they're just kind of talking with each other. It's almost kind of an Avengers moment, where they're just working together, and they're just so they've been at it for a while now, so they just know how to work with each other. After Genji blows up a car and it's starting to come over on them, he just turns around, puts his hand up, and Mercy comes by and picks him up, and they fly away. It's so cool. And I've been saying it for a while now. I wish we would get more things like this in Overwatch, just more lore events, more lore missions. Because this stuff is just really what gets me excited. Now, when you get to the gameplay, this is definitely the weakest of the 3 archive events so far. So essentially, it starts out as the 4 of you. You're getting out of a garage. You're going down a street. You kill some Talon members. You do that for about 3 minutes, and then you get into this distillery. And while you're in there, a few waves of Talon agents come at you, and it's hard on legendary, but otherwise it's just fine. I beat it on my first try on the expert mode, which is the second hardest difficulty. And it's just it feels really shallow compared to the other events. They were just trying to rush through and get this done. Again, I really enjoy the banter between all of the characters and the captain. Once you're done with the distillery, there's a tiny payload section where you're taking this truck that's filled with explosives to this fort, and it's all the distance you're going is 50 feet maybe. It's just down the road, and you only deal with a few soldiers in your way, and then once you get there, you're just dealing with more waves until you finish it off. And once you finish them off, you're oh, okay, we're gonna break down this door, and maybe we'll get this final boss fight or something, this big showdown with Maximilian. And no, it just goes into a cutscene and you're done. So the cutscenes are amazing. Also, that ending cutscene is really cool. It's them cornering Maximilian, getting information from him, and then it turns over to Doomfist, who's probably in Numbani, or no, not Numbani, the Egyptian place, the Temple of Anubis. It looks like where he's at, and he's talking about, oh, I see the cause you're working towards. It's really noble, but it will fail. With Talon's help, it will succeed. And then it turns to this new Omnic that we haven't seen before. He takes his hood off and says, you have my attention. And it just cuts out right there. So we've got this brand new character that's coming up. A lot of people are speculating that he's the next hero. Definitely some interesting stuff there. But just from the gameplay standpoint, this event is kind of disappointing.
Oh, really? Because I know you were super excited for it last week.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm still going to play it because I got to try and get all the achievements for it. But it's I was expecting for a little better. I don't know. It's just fine, you know, and that's kind of the down part to Overwatch events over the last year, maybe even a little longer. It's just they're just okay. They're not as like back when the first year of Overwatch leading into the second year of it. Whenever there was an event, people were excited. Like, I was excited to get in there and play these new modes that were only around for a little bit, but anymore, it just seems so lackluster. And with how bad the Overwatch team has been at, like, communicating what they're working on and fixing, like, issues with, like, comp and everything, it's really disappointing because, man, I still love this game and I love so much about it, but man, I really do not like the way Blizzard has been handling it over the last year.
Yeah, that kind of sucks to hear because I kind of wanted to hop into Overwatch and try it. I'm sure I'll still try out the mode, and I don't know, I'll probably enjoy it just fine because you are like super into the lore, like way more than I am. So yeah. I'm sure I'll enjoy it for what it is.
No, yeah, and maybe I just came in with too high of expectations because it is a good event still. I do enjoy it very much, but I would, any day of the week, I would take Uprising or Retribution or Junkenstein's Revenge for a PvE mode. I want them to do more of these, so I'm fine with that. At times, these modes that they're putting in, they kind of feel like a Left 4 Dead game. You know what I mean? Like, not so much Junkenstein's Revenge, but like Uprising and Retribution, they feel like you're going through a Left 4 Dead campaign where you're working together, and I really love that. Like, it really made me think when I was first playing it today. I'm like, man, I would love, like, there's all these rumors about a potential single-player Overwatch down the line, which whatever, if that ever comes, I will still enjoy it. But, like, if we were to get, like, a 4-player cooperative campaign game, like, I would absolutely love that. Like, I would be so down for that.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm curious to see like what direction they're going in with Overwatch as a whole, because like right now they have, you know, the game is great at its core, but like what are they going to do to keep people like you to play it, you know, because right now like they've kind of lost you, and you're a diehard fan. You have all the you have all those pop figures sitting in your room. Like, and what are they going to do to get you to come back and play it every day like you used to? Because right now, I know for a fact you don't play it every day. You play it when there's a new event, and then you stop playing because the fan base is too toxic.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They have to fix the competitive mode. They have to fix the community. And I don't know if they can do that, because like every time you hear something new from Jeff Kaplan or anyone else that has something to do with it, it's always, oh, yeah, we have some stuff that we're working on for the future. Well, we've been hearing this for forever now. And those things that I love outside of the game, the lore, those animated trailers and everything, we get them maybe twice a year. And it's just not enough to keep someone like me invested.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the whole game plays out. I think that a single player, you know, like you said, 4-player co-op Overwatch would be pretty awesome, personally.
Yeah. Just
because I like what they're doing with the lore of that game. Like, all those, like, shorts that they come out with, I always look forward to watching them, even though half the time I don't know what the hell is going on as a whole. Like, I don't know how, like, what was the very first one, the Bastion one. Like, I didn't know how that connected to the story at all, but it is what it is. Like, I enjoy watching them.
Mm-hmm. They're all good. It's just, man, we want more, and they're just not delivering.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to keep listening to the podcast and see what John thinks in the coming months, I guess.
Yeah. The Overwatch minute just expanded to like 8 minutes.
Yeah, I just kind of let you ramble because we've been going pretty fast through this episode, so it seemed like you had a lot to say. So the last game I have been playing, well, not been playing, I did play yesterday. I went to a event here in downtown Chicago for Days Gone. It was a public event that I heard about on Facebook, where they had, I think, 8 PlayStations and monitors set up at this brewery that you could play the game, and it was really cool. I enjoyed it a lot.
It was just at a random brewery?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, hold on. This brewery, the Chicago brewery, they made a beer for Days Gone. I'm assuming that they like had some partnership with the game devs or whatnot. It was called Deacon's Red Ale, and it was really good. I really liked it. So the part of the thing was, entry was free. You didn't have to buy or reserve tickets online or anything. It was first come, first serve. I went there right after work, and I walked in the front door, and they're like, "Here's a wristband. It was like a bag, like one of those drawstring bags that said Days Gone on it, and there was a Days Gone poster inside, like a 11 by 17, I think." And they're like, "Yeah, so there's free food on the roof upstairs. You get a free beer, and you can wait in line to play the game if you'd like." So I was like, "All right, cool." Got my beer, went and waited in line. Got to play the game for like 10 minutes, I think. They were keeping it pretty short because there were a lot of people there. But I enjoyed what I played of it. I had zero expectations going in. I wasn't planning on buying the game, and now I think I might actually pick it up when it comes out.
Can you explain a little bit of what you did during that 10
minutes?
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't sign an NDA or anything. So I played the story mode. I could have played the horde mode if I wanted, but I decided to go into the story.
I didn't even know there was a horde mode.
Yeah. I didn't know either, unless they just described it as a horde mode and it was just a no, I'm pretty sure it was a horde mode. Unless either that or it was just like a mission further in the game where there's a lot of zombies. I'm not sure. But I think it was a horde mode. But either way, I did the story, part of the story mission because I only had 10 minutes. I just kind of kept going into a new game. It takes you like 5 minutes just to get your bearings and figure out what you're doing. So I was just kind of running around at first and killing some zombies. They're like these child zombies, which is creepy, man. Real creepy killing a kid as a zombie, I'll tell you that much. So my objective when I was there was to find spark plugs for my motorcycle or something. And I found this gas station / auto body shop deal. I had to find my way into that building, and I had to climb on the roof to do so. I went in, found what I needed, and then I got a call from my buddy he was with me at the very beginning. He's like, "All right, I'm going to go ahead. You find your part to fix your bike and then meet me." So I'm like, "All right, cool." And then he called me and he's like, "Yo, I'm getting attacked by these psychos." And they're like, I'm assuming it's like some outcast, crazy people who are not infected, but they just have all these crazy like cuts on them, like tribal tattoos almost, cuts all over their bodies. And when I showed up, they were burning my buddy, like with a torch, like a propane torch, and they were burning the shit out of his arm. And so I had to, fight them to get him off him. And then that's about when my demo stopped. But the gameplay, it felt smooth. There were some audio issues, but I have a feeling that was because of the headsets we were using. Like it just started crackling during one of the cutscenes. So I don't know.
That sounds more like a headset issue.
Yeah. But the graphics were awesome. Like I said, I had no expectations. I just saw, free Days Gone event. Some of the kind of funny best friends were going. I was like, all right, cool. I'll meet you guys there. But yeah, the graphics are awesome. The gameplay is really cool. The story sounds, from what I've heard on other podcasts, sounds like it's going to be pretty cool from people that have played more of it. But yeah, it made me kind of excited. So I'm going to look into it a little bit more before I make a decision. But if I buy it digitally, you will also have it.
All right. Yeah, after the last reveal of it at the state of play, I got more invested in it because they showed more of the story, which they really haven't done in the past. In the past, pretty much all we've really seen is him just like running away from the zombies,
running away from like hundreds of zombies.
Yeah, and I'm like, I love zombie games. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's probably something I'll look at down the line. And then they finally got into the story because they started talking, oh yeah, this is completely story focused. There's no multiplayer or anything. And that got me more excited. I'm like, okay, yeah. And I've always been, I've got a, what's the word? A slight optimistic view of Days Gone, because I think a lot of people are, oh, it's a Last for Us clone, which from everything we've seen so far, it's not. And so I'm optimistic about it, and I want to give it a try. Hey, if you buy it on PS4, that would be awesome, because I don't have money for it right now.
Yeah, I'm strongly considering it, so I'll let you know when I do make a decision. But yeah, some of the devs were there, and I got to talk to them, and it was really cool. Like, I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like that's what I was surprised by, is that the devs were actually there.
Because that's developed in Oregon.
Yeah,
I believe,
no,
right?
that's why it's even more weird. When I saw the event, like somebody, so we have a Chicagoland Kind of Funny Facebook group where because like we get together like every few months and like we go have some beers at an arcade bar or something. And one of my friends that's in it, Will, he posted. He's like, hey, this just randomly popped up on my Facebook. I thought I'd post it here because it doesn't seem like many people know about it. And like I think like 5 of us Kind of Funny people ended up going. But either way, yeah, it's weird. We were like, why is this in Chicago? Like, doesn't make sense. So the fact that some of the devs were there, like there were like probably close to 10 devs there, I'd assume that the game is probably pretty much done. I mean, I'm assuming it's done because like review copies are out, but I'm assuming...
And it comes out next Friday.
Yeah, so I'm assuming they're pretty confident with how it's going to release if they're just leaving town.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were there, and one of the devs was telling me, he's like, yeah, when I first started working on the game, there were 10 of us working on it. He's like, so I've been on this project since day one, and now there's like upwards of 40 people working on it, I think he said.
Yeah, that kind of stuff happens a lot with game development. A company will focus on one game, like, what's the studio? It's like Ben Studio or something like that.
Yeah, Ben Studio.
So they've probably already got a small team of probably 5 or 10 people working on their next game already. So yeah, I want to say this game's been in development for a while now. Like, I want to say they started in 2013, 2014.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. But yeah, it was cool because like also some of the game devs just look like they ride Harleys, which I thought was really cool. Because like it's like, man, this is like right up their wheelhouse to have been making this game. Yeah, but that was my experience with playing Days Gone. Yeah, I'll report back if I decide to buy it, and if I do, me and John will have some impressions on the game.
All right.
That does it for the games we've been playing the past week, John. Let's get into some of this super thick with 2C's news.
All right. You want to start it off?
Sure.
You take care of Sony, I'll take care of Microsoft.
All right. This article comes from IGN.com by Joe Screbbles. The title is Sony Reveals PlayStation 5 Details. PS5 lead system architect Mark Cerny has shown off some of the internal components of the next generation PlayStation, which he is technically not currently calling PlayStation 5, which will include a high-spec solid-state drive, a GPU capable of supporting ray tracing, will support PS4 backwards compatibility, and won't be download only. Hint, hint, Microsoft. With a meeting with Wired, Cerny also explained that the console would definitely not be released in 2019 and demonstrated why this is a true next-generation machine, rather than a PS4 upgrade in the vein of the PS4 Pro. Cerny explained that the console's CPU is a variant of the AMD Ryzen 3rd generation, and that its GPU is a custom version of Radeon's Navi line. Navi line? I don't know. That GPU is capable of ray tracing, a high-performance graphical technique with some incredible results. As you'd expect, the console will also support 8K displays. Cerny also showed off the power of the console's new solid-state drive with a practical demo. According to Wired, fast traveling between locations in Insomniac's Spider-Man on a PS4 Pro took 15 seconds. Using the next-generation dev kit, the same action took 0.8 seconds. John, how much do you think this is going to cost? Oh, wait, we're going to talk about that later. Never mind. Yeah. That is the topic of the show. Spoiler alert. But this thing, like, it sounds crazy, and I've been seeing people comparing it to, like super high-end PCs right now, and they're like, yeah, my PC is, like, $2,000+. There's no way. And, like, what they're claiming is the, what was it, 8K display. And, like, somebody posted a video I saw of them playing, I think, the new Metro game in 4K on, like, a 2080 Ti graphics card. They're like, yeah, I can't get more than 40 frames per second. So yeah. I don't know how this is going to be cost effective for people. But then again, there were a lot of haters when the X was announced and they said that everything was going to be in 4K, Like, it was going to be able to play 4K games. Like, even my roommates were like, wait, so that thing you could just play in 4K in the living room? I was like, yeah. And they were like, how is that possible for $500? I was like, exactly, man. It's crazy. So I could see this being the possibility, but what he's describing here with this crazy, I guess, state-of-the-art solid-state drive, because Cerny, in that Wired article, if you read it, he states that it is unlike any... It's better than any solid-state drive you can buy currently for your PC.
Yeah.
So that alone makes me think this thing's going to be really expensive.
Yeah. We're getting to a point here where the console developers are trying to always reach PC, and they're always going to be behind, but this seems like a step to get in front of PC for a change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much of this we will actually see when the PS5 comes out. Like, for example, Spider-Man is a PS4 game. Yeah, that was able to fast travel in less than a second, but what are we going to get when we get an actual PS5 developed game on there? Like, are we still going to get that super fast load time? Probably not, because there's going to be even more into those games. The, like, capability to support 8K and everything, we barely have everyone on 4K yet. Like, I've had my Xbox One X for well over a year now, and I still haven't had the money to buy a 4K TV. 8K is completely ridiculous. No one's gonna take advantage of that, at least for a while. It could be well into a decade before we get more people into 8K.
Yeah, I don't think that's, like, I get it. He's saying that because, yes, it's capable of running in 8K, but he's saying that just so, like, because we're talking about 8K stuff right now on our podcast right here. This is exactly what he wanted. He wants that wow factor of people saying, oh, 8K, oh, next generation.
And
PlayStation
this,
5
like,
is powerful.
This whole, like, announcement with the PS5 thing, it just kind of feels like a thing like, hey, don't forget about us. Yeah, we're not going to be at E3, but we're still here. Like, we don't have anything else to talk about, so here's anything to get you talking about PlayStation again. Like, that's all that this feels like.
Yeah, all this is.
I don't know.
They're getting ahead of the game. They're just trying to get their name out there first. So now everybody's thinking PlayStation 5, as opposed to what's Microsoft doing next at E3.
Yeah,
but who knows?
I really think that this was a plan because Xbox. They knew Xbox was revealing the all digital today. They're like, oh, well, they're still focused on this generation. Let's show the people that we're focused on the future, because we know we're not getting that from Microsoft until E3. So it is kind of a step in here. Hey, look at us, guys, kind of thing.
Yep. All right, let's roll right into the Microsoft news that you were talking about with the Xbox One SAD edition.
Alright, so this is by Brian Shea, I don't know, from Game Informer. As was previously reported, Microsoft has announced an Xbox One model that features no disk drive. The Xbox One S All-Digital Edition retails for a slightly lower price than a standard Xbox One S and includes 3 digital games. Okay, so yeah, essentially it's just that. It's an Xbox One S with no drive. And let me say, I love that they are going for this. That video was amazing.
It
also.
was great. It was like,
great.
What'd you do? I took out the drive. Like, yeah, but what did you
impossible.
do? That was pretty great.
Here, I hit delete. What? Do it again.
Which, it makes perfect sense. I remember when this was first rumored, people were speculating, like, oh, it's going to be in a smaller box. Like, I don't think so. I think they're literally just going to remove the drive. Like, it makes the most sense.
It does. Like, they don't have to spend all that time and resources towards, like, making a new box. It's just, okay, we're not going to cut a slit into the front of the console anymore.
Something worth noting is that it is $250 MSRP, which is $50 less than the MSRP of the regular Xbox One S. And it'll always be $50 less. So if Microsoft has a special where the Xbox One S MSRP goes down to like $250, then this all digital edition will be $200. I mean, which is cool, but at the same time, there's a deal. There's a deal right now online. I'm gonna look it up right now because I was literally looking at it earlier. You could buy an Xbox One S with some game. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh yeah, 1 terabyte Xbox One S console bundle with Battlefield 5 Deluxe Edition for $174.99. How are you letting this happen? Like, granted, you can say that the MSRP of an Xbox One S is $300, but retailers are still gonna sell them cheaper because like they don't want this old, or UPC on their shelves.
Yeah. No, I believe Microsoft completely butchered this. Like, they had all the room to make a good announcement here. $250 is way too much. You do get 3 games with it. Forza Horizon 3, which is not the newest Horizon, the older one, but still a great game. Minecraft, which has been out for years and is $20 still. Or Sea of Thieves. Like, okay, that's cool. You're getting 3 games. That's not worth it. Like, how do you not bundle Game Pass with this? Like, you get all 3 of those games in Game Pass.
Yeah,
like,
even if it's just, like for the cost of those 3 games, just give them a year of Game Pass. Or tie it in with their, which we'll get into in a little bit when I read the next article, tied in with their, what is it called, Game Pass Ultimate, which comes with Gold and Game Pass. A year of that. It's a digital edition of the console. You want people hooked on your digital stuff. Granted, these 3 games are digital on the console that you're getting. But
man, Microsoft butchered this. Like, this would have been such an easy announcement. All right, here is the Xbox One S All Digital Edition, which is a terrible name still, but we'll talk about that here in a second. But here it's $200 would have been fine for this.
I agree. You get $200, I think, was the max that they should have sold this for.
Yeah, $200 was the max, and you don't include games themselves. You include even half a year of Game Pass would have been fine. That's $60 value. That's normally what you're getting with a bundle deal, is a $60 game. That's all they had to do, and they completely messed it up.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's why it will forever be called the Sad Edition.
Yeah, and come on. The S All Digital Edition. Xbox, who is naming your consoles? Why? Stop it. We go from the Xbox One, which is already a terrible name, to the Xbox One S. Okay, we can live with that. But then a year later, we get Xbox One X.
Dude, you can even take this back further, man. You can start. It was Xbox. All right, the Xbox. Cool. Xbox. Yeah. Then you go to the Xbox 360. What the fuck?
Yeah, but at least there was a reliable reason behind that. They didn't want it to feel like it was behind the PS3 by calling it the Xbox 2. Okay, I can buy that. But then they completely go against that by naming this the Xbox One.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And then this, like, it literally acronyms to SAD, or SAID if you include the E, but come on, you are setting yourself up. This is as bad as X-Bone when the Xbox One first came out.
X-Bone, man. X-Bone for life.
I wasn't going to get one of these to begin with because I have my Xbox One X. I don't need a second Xbox One, but I feel like they just really messed this up.
You see, if this thing was cheap enough, I was going to consider getting one. Because I do have my X and I have an S, and I would like to have an extra one in my bedroom.
Yeah, and that's what it would have been perfect for. If it was $150, that would have been an amazing deal. Like, I would have been fine with them not including anything with that, just the console itself. That would have been amazing. But $200, yeah, okay, well, here's 6 months of Game Pass. Like, that's all they had to do.
And the worst part is, like, the games they're adding is not costing them a dime by adding them,
right?
Because they're all first-party stuff.
Yeah, man, I'm just very disappointed in that, but it is what it is. Maybe because I know a lot of people are upset with this, or not upset, but they're let down by this, and who knows, maybe we'll hear something at E3 about whatever's going on. I don't know.
I think last year at E3 they announced like a price drop in all consoles, so I'd imagine that after this thing doesn't sell at all and people are just complaining about it, I'd imagine they're going to be like, oh, all consoles are down $50. And then this thing will be 200 instead of 250, which is fine.
Right.
I would accept that.
Yeah, 200 is a really good sweet spot. That's where it should have been. And I mean, they're going to be talking about the next console, the next generation of Xbox anyway. So usually we hear about a price drop when those kind of things happen. It's always like, hey, here's the Xbox Scarlet, and going forward, the Xbox One S and X are both 50 off. Like, it'll be something like that. But
yeah,
man. But sticking on with the Inside Xbox stream, there was a little more stuff announced there. You noted it earlier. Game Pass Ultimate was announced, which is, as people were leaking it and rumoring it, it's Game Pass and Xbox Live Gold combined into one subscription. Cool. They didn't really go into a price point for anything beyond a month. They just said $15 for a month. So I don't know if they're going to have the 3 months, 6 month, and a year at the discounted, which I really hope they do, because that's been the one thing with me, because it just makes more sense to buy a year of gold instead of a month.
Definitely.
And that's been the thing I've been waiting for with Game Pass, is just a year subscription to that, so I could be like, okay, just... God damn it.
Yeah. We also heard that some of the new game studios that Xbox has acquired are going to be showing some games this year at E3, which is exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Probably early stuff right now.
I mean, I'd imagine, because I didn't think we were going to see anything from those guys, any of those studios. Right. So I mean, that's good to hear that they're already making moves and have stuff to show.
Really, what it could be is just like they show the Scarlet, whatever it's going to be called, and they're like, hey, and here's Ninja Theory's first thing that they're working on, which will come day one release of Scarlet. Something like that is probably what they're going to see.
Yep. Another thing that was talked about is they interviewed Phil Spencer, and he said he's been grinding in Destiny 2 using Project xCloud. What?
Yeah.
This motherfucker.
Right? He's been doing it on his phone using an Xbox controller, which is awesome. I don't think we talked about it, but it might have been the last Inside Xbox that they had. They brought it out, and they had a lady playing on a controller on a phone playing Forza Horizon 4, and it looked amazing. Like, it looked like a console game, and it was reacting to her movements super fast and everything. So yeah, I'm all in on xCloud. I hope it does great as it's looked so far. Definitely can't wait for E3 to see it. I
mean, he said he's been testing it out a lot in terms of, granted, he did put the caveat, like, yeah, I have my own server right now, my own Project xCloud server. But he did say he's been testing it like as he's been traveling around the world, and he said he's really liking it. So, I mean, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I'm excited to see more of that. I don't think we're going to get that at E3. I think we'll get... They'll probably say, like, oh, we've been working on it. Here's kind of where we're at. But I don't think
No, that's what I mean. I think they're going to show more of it. It's going to be like a Stadia reveal of it, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm more excited to see what the next-gen console is, because I have more faith in hardware at this point than I do cloud streaming. But that's just me.
I got you.
They also showed some Gears 5 information, I guess, that we're going to get a multiplayer reveal soon. They partnered with TBS's show E-League and will be doing a 6-part series on the professional competitive scene for Gears of War in June. I believe that starts June 14th. Yeah, so that'll be cool. More Gears is always good in my book. And they did kind of
still have to play through 3.
You mean 4?
No, 3. I've beat 1 and 2, and that's it.
3 is so good. Yeah, they also did hint at that Gears pop game during the stream and the Tactics one. So I'd assume we're going to hear from both of those at E3.
Oh, yeah.
Ninja Gaiden 2 backward compatible. We already talked about that. Splinter Cell and Fable. X Enhanced. Game Bar for PC gets an upgrade. I don't really use Game Bar on PC. I don't know anybody that does.
No, I don't either.
So we'll skip past that. They showed a bunch of Rage 2 gameplay, which looks really cool.
Yeah,
it looks like a weird version of Doom.
Yeah, and I mean that makes sense because it's id, but still, I really haven't been excited at all for Rage 2. But after watching that little gameplay reveal, whatever you want to call it, it got me much more excited for it than I ever have been. So definitely something I'm going to look into more.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. They did talk about Xbox Fan Fest for E3, but neither of us are going to that, so we'll skip that. John, Smash Bros. Go.
All right, so Joker, the Persona 5 character, is available today. I guess I should start this by saying this kind of came out of nowhere, just a little mini direct just focused on Super Smash Brothers, like no announcement or anything, just randomly they put it up on YouTube. Hey, here's a Smash Brothers Ultimate Direct. So yeah, Joker is available today, so if you can buy him individually or you can get him.
Actually, sorry, not trying to cut you off, but I literally just saw a tweet that people are having problems getting him because I think the servers just went live to get him just now, and they're flooding the servers and yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he's available today. He comes with a new stage and some music across Persona 3, 4, and 5. Outside of Joker, they also revealed a stage editor is coming into the game, available today. That is a part of a free update. Also, they're adding in kind of microtransactions with Mii costumes. So there's some Persona Mii costumes, and then also Tails and Knuckles from the Sonic the Hedgehog games are available. I kind of wish that they would like do more skins for other characters, not just the Mii fighters. That would be cool.
That would be weird and confusing, I feel.
Still, I mean, it'd be about as weird and confusing as Overwatch. It's just with characters you know more. Like, give me let's see, Mario, but he's in his swimming trunks from Odyssey.
Mario wearing a Knuckles costume. Is that what you want?
Yes, I do want that, actually. But yeah,
did you buy the season pass for that?
Not yet. I've never played Persona 5, so I don't really care about Joker. I'm guessing E3 is when they'll announce the next DLC character, so maybe around then I'll decide if I'll buy it or not.
Yeah, right on. I don't play Smash enough at this time to pick it up. I still haven't even put my code in for Piranha Plant yet, which I should do before I forget.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what other characters they announce, because I know there's going to be at least one or two that I get pumped up for.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, for a game like Smash Bros, as big as it is, they're not just looking for any game. Like, Persona is a big game to a lot of people.
No,
it just doesn't relate to me.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not getting him yet.
Yeah.
Here's hoping that the second character is Banjo-Kazooie. Let's go.
Yo, you trying to break the internet? Or what?
Yeah.
Smash
That's
Bros.
what I'm about.
Alright, well, so that concludes the news. Let's get into the topic of the show, which we briefly talked on. I think it's going to be a pretty quick topic, but what do you think the starting price for the PS5 will be? Granted, we talked about all the info that leaked, or not leaked, that Mark Cerny talked about. I think it's going to be probably $500 to $600.
Yeah, and I mean, that's where everyone's kind of talking. I think after the whole debacle with PS3 being $600, I don't think they go near that, so I think it will be at $500. But I really cannot see it being any lower than that.
I got a question. I don't think that this is going to be the case, but do you see a world where they release two at the same time, kind of similar to the PS4 and the Pro?
I was really wondering that myself, because that would just
I could see them doing like a $500 version or like a $400 or $500 version that's like, it plays all the newest stuff, it's backwards compatible, pretty much does all the same stuff. Or you can maybe it doesn't have a solid state drive. Yeah. Or you can buy the $700 version that is just insanely powerful compared to the other one.
Yeah, it would feel more like an iPhone kind of thing, where now they're putting out multiple issues of the same phone now, and I could really see them going that route. When I was reading all that stuff yesterday, that kind of popped into my head, and I think it would make sense because, I mean, they'd be able to drop that price point down and more people would buy their console, but also say, hey, we have this really powerful console that you can pay more for. It makes sense.
Yeah, for the sake of discussion, we're going to call it the PS5 and the PS5 Pro. So say that the PS5, imagine your PS4 Pro or your Xbox One X right now. It plays games in 4K movies, all that jazz. I'm assuming it's going to do similar things, but also have like upgraded graphics card, everything it needs to play a next-gen game. Maybe it has either a hard drive, just a standard hard drive, or some sort of hybrid drive with the solid-state hard drive. I'm not really sure how those works, but I know one of the Xboxes had one. And then you have the PS5 Pro, which, can play games in 8K, and it can also play games in 4K, but with like more frame rate, like a higher frame rate maybe. I don't know. There's just so many variables that could go into it, but I definitely could see a world where that happens for both companies even.
Oh yeah, it just makes so much sense to me. Like, especially with Xbox trying out this all digital Xbox One. Like, I could see the Scarlet, like having one with a disc drive and being more powerful, and then this only digital one being cheaper. I would hope more than just $50 cheaper, but who knows? But yeah, we will see.
But yeah, I could also see, because, PlayStation right now, the only thing Xbox has on PlayStation is like, oh, we have the more powerful system. And
Game Pass.
Well, yeah. But I mean, in terms of hardware, just like, oh, we're way more powerful than you. We have the most powerful console there is. And so I could see PlayStation really going balls to the walls and coming out with that, $600-$700 console. But they're also going to need something that's affordable to the casual gamers that are just in the PlayStation ecosystem. So yeah, I think that makes perfect sense, but I mean, only time will tell.
Yep.
All right, that concludes episode 56 of the Pixel Street Podcast. My name is Joel Campos. You can find me on Twitter at Campos63. Tweet at our podcast Twitter. I'm drawing a brain fart here. Tweet at our podcast at Pixel Street Pod. You can go there or on our Facebook page by searching Pixel Street Podcast to see how you listening with the Switch in your hand, can win a copy of Cuphead for the Nintendo Switch. That drawing is going to be on Sunday, April, what date is that?
22nd.
21st. It's the 21st.
Is it?
Yeah, Sunday's the 21st. Yeah, you can check out my streams over on mixer.com/Campos63. John, where can these beautiful people that are listening find you?
All right. I thought Sunday was the 22nd, so we're gonna move that to Monday, the 22nd, because I posted on Twitter that it was the 22nd. So
no, that's fine. All right. It's just we have more time to get this in people's ears since we come out on Friday mornings.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at RevXShadows. On YouTube, you can just search RevXShadows or go to youtube.com/JohnJW92.
All right, we will see you next week for episode 57, and that will be the episode when John, what are you gonna do next week?
Man, I think you should stick to that with the opening.
What are you gonna do next week?
I'm gonna give away Cuphead again.
No,
I'm gonna play Cuphead.
There you go. He's gonna play a lot of Cuphead next week. Stay tuned next week.